Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Today in this stream, I'm going to I'm going to solve a couple of questions. But before that, let me check if I'm online and audible. Just give me a second, okay? Quick second. Right, so everything is working perfectly fine. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so I have a small story first of all before starting the stream. Most if you have seen like my previous videos, you might know that I have a mic that I can attach to my collar. It's called a collar mic. I have a collar microphone. I bought it like about 2-3 weeks ago because I wanted to make sure that my voice was more clear, because of course the laptop's original mic doesn't really work that great. So I bought a collar mic and I was using that mic while I was streaming, and it works really nicely. Everything was perfectly fine, but I wanted to but the mic, since it was attached to my collar, I was not getting the feeling of being a streamer, and somehow I wanted to bring some streamer kind of feeling into my everyday streaming videos. So what I thought I would do is I created a stand for that mic from the crappy stuff that I have, some wooden sticks, papers, tape and stuff, and I created a stand for that. And today, right now, I'm speaking through the mic, but the mic is attached to the stand, not to my collar itself, and it definitely gives me a completely different feeling, and I feel so much more different because the mic is near my mouth. It's attached to a stand, it's not attached to my collar. I can move it. I cannot move it a lot, but I can still move it slightly to the left, right, up or down, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's like one of the best engineering creation of mine, right? So that's about the mic. Anyway, forget about it. So here's the question. The question is, find k closest elements. I've been given a sorted integer array to integer k and x. Return k closest integers to x in the array. Integer a is closer to x if a minus x is less, or if this is true. And I have to return the k closest integers. Okay, cool. Let's open OneNote real quick. Okay, I also know that on the title of the stream I have written that 2 big announcements soon, right? 2 announcements soon, not big, but yeah, 2 announcements soon, and that's true. So there are 2 things that I want to announce. I'm not going to announce them right now on the stream because no one's watching right now, but anyways, I will most probably upload an announcement video by 1st or 2nd. Let's say by 2nd of October I'll upload a announcement video where I will do all the 2 announcements, and yeah, those are gonna be really cool. I'm super excited about the announcements and stuff. That's the reason why this stream is kind of short. I won't be streaming for a long time because I have to prepare for those announcements. I have to do a lot of stuff to make sure that I can actually fulfill those announcements and do whatever I'm saying in that announcement. Yeah, so that's that. Anyways, I've been given an array. Let's say the array is 1 2 3 4 5. K value is 4 and x value is 3. I have to return 4 integers that are closest to 3. Okay, 4 integers that are closest to 3. I will try to walk you through my process of thinking, or what am I thinking while I'm looking at the question. And to be honest, as soon as I saw k, I had a feeling that I'm going to be using heaps here somehow. So the array is sorted array. The result should also be sorted in ascending order. A is closer to X if closest. Well, another thought that I have in my mind is I can just find the index of that number. Let's say 3 is the number. I found the index and I need k numbers, right? So I can take one from left, then one from right, and then one from left, and I can keep doing it until I have not taken k integers themselves. Right, that's when I have the number in the array. But if I do not have that number in the array, for example, in case of the array is 1 2 3 4 5 and my x is -1, then the closest number to the -1 is actually 1. So yeah, I'll try to get the left one, I cannot, so I'll have to get the right one. I'll try to get the left one, I cannot, I have to get the right one. Well, this would be to find the number, it would be log n plus k, right? That could be solved using k, O of k. If I'm not missing anything, then this should be solvable in O of k time, isn't it? Or maybe not. Maybe let's see if it is 1 to 400 and my number is 5, then I would get to 4. 4 is the closest number. Why am I even doing all of this? Why don't we just use heaps straightforward? Yeah, why don't we just say that I have x equal to 5, so I'll start from the first number, I'll get the difference, which is 4, absolute difference, comma the number itself 1, and I will put it in the heap, and then I will take the first k elements of the heap. That's like O of log k, the fastest algorithm that I can come up with, right? So why don't we just implement this real quick? I would say that my array is an empty array. For example, right now my array is an empty array. No, array is the name of the given variable also, so I'll just say heap is an empty array. Next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to say for a in array. Okay, so a is my number, whatever number it is. My difference is gonna be absolute of x minus a, and yeah, I'm gonna check if length of heap is less than k, then heap q dot heap push heap comma this element is going to be diff comma a, else heap q dot heap pop else I need to pop, but I want to pop the largest one, not the smallest one, so I'll have to say negative of diff. And now I can check d comma n, or let's say dx comma ax is heap of -1. Now I can check if the absolute of dx is actually greater than, that difference is greater than the diff. Just give me a second, I have to pick up this call. Hello. हाँ, क्या हुआ बॉय? Oops, sorry for the noise. Huh, where was I said that if the absolute difference is greater than the current difference, then of course I would want to heap q dot heap pop heap, and I would want to again add this current number to the heap, right? Else, if the absolute difference is equal to diff and the current number is less than x, then I want to once again pop from the heap and push something. Otherwise I do not really do anything at all. Once I'm done doing everything, I can have my answer array, I can return my answer array, and the answer array would be created using the heap. So while length of heap top equals to, so d comma a equals to heap q dot heap pop answer dot append a. Maybe this would return the reversed, no, return 1 2 4 3. The correct answer is 1 2 3 4. Can return a sorted array. If that was creating any problem, then we can definitely do this. I'm not sure if this works. Yeah, output was 234, expected was 334. If the absolute difference is equal to diff and a is less than a of x, only then I insert this. Otherwise I do not. And if the absolute difference is greater than diff, then then also we do this. Otherwise okay, so k value was 3. If the length of heap is less than k, shouldn't it be less than equal to k? I think it should be less than equal to k. Why do we have 3 5 here? Oh, we were supposed to have 3 5. I messed up the test cases. Yes, so thing is that okay, all right, I might just want to have index also there, just for the sake of I'm not actually going to use index at any point, but to make sure that I have that this counts as a different element, I might want to use index in some way. Okay, and best is you're watching फिर भी बकबक कर रहे हो. Yeah, because मेरे को आदत है. If you have any problem, then you can fuck off, Mr. Rohan Singh. Diff a, क्या दिक्कत आ रही है? What's the problem? What is the problem? A was in the array. How about we print heap at every step? Let's print heap just to get a sense of what's going on in the code. The heap is -5, 0, right? And then it is -5, 0, then it is -4, 0. Correct? But then aren't we storing the maximum difference? Aren't we storing the maximum difference in the heap? But instead what we wanted is the minimum difference in the heap. So we're not actually storing the minimum difference in the heap. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay, cool. Then I'll just sorry. Yes, where was I? So what I was saying is then I can skip all the trash talk and I can just jump to the main part, which is store diff comma a comma, let's say I plus equals to 1. Diff is the difference. Now this heap, when I'll get, it will return me the minimum elements, while length of heap and k, I'm going to subtract k by 1. In that case I can just return answer itself. Too many values to unpack. I wanted to solve it in log of k, but now this algorithm is log of n times log n. I'm not sure if I actually want n times log n or not. I mean, I do not have a problem with n times log n, but yeah, it's just a thought that maybe n times log n isn't the best algorithm. Okay, I would still have a problem. The problem would be with the a. Is it? No, I do not have a problem. Never mind. Yeah, so it works, but it is n log n. I wanted a n log k solution. Never mind. Let's go to the next question, which is find kth smallest pair distance. Before we solve this problem, I have to quickly check something. Yes, what do I have to check? To quickly check why is my music volume actually 0 currently. Maybe because the song was not playing. Never mind. So yes, we have to solve this problem. Before that, let's quickly check one more thing. Check for the latest company. Wait, today is Thursday. I have to submit an assignment tomorrow, which is, oh shit, I have to submit an assignment tomorrow, computer graphics assignment. But I left the responsibility of solving that assignment onto my friend, so I can stream, it doesn't matter. The distance of pair of integers a and b is defined as the absolute difference between a and b. Given an integer array nums and an integer k, return the kth smallest distance among all the pairs. Kth smallest distance among the pairs. What is the length of this array? The length of this array is 10 to the power 4 at max. The distance of a pair of integers a and b is the absolute difference between a and b. I have to find the kth smallest distance among all the possible pairs. Okay. The brute force approach would be to find all the pairs and the distance. So to find all the pairs, the time complexity would be n squared. Once I have all the pairs and their distance, the time complexity would be n square log n to make the heap. And in the best case, it would be n square log k. But there is a n square factor here. And the n is up to 10 to the power 4. Which means n square would not work. I cannot find all the possible pairs. I'm trying to understand if sorting the array would help. If I actually sort the array, now I'm trying to understand if this can help me in any way. If I have the array sorted, then can I the distance between the closest pairs would be less, and as I go further the distance would increase. But I cannot make a conclusive evidence about the distance increase from I to j and I plus 1 to j plus 1. Yes, I cannot do that. No. I know I have to use heaps, but I have no idea how will I use heaps here. Smallest distance among all the pairs. All the pairs. Very interesting. I can only think of one solution, which is n square log n or n square log k. If I am able to write it correctly, then it would be n square log k. Other than that, I have no clue what other possible solution that I should have known. n square log k. But isn't n square log k slightly slow? What other solution? Okay. Can't think of anything better than n square log k. Is there a way that I can find this distance without actually having to go through all the possible pairs in the array nums? If I have an array 1, 2, 3 and I want to find the smallest distance pair, then it is going to be 1, 2. Let's say I have an array 1, 2, 4 and I want to do the same thing again. Can I have a common point such as 0 and find distance from that point to everyone, which is 1, 2, 4? Put it inside of a heap. Nothing better than n square log n. Let's look at a hint. Binary search for the answer. How can you check how many pairs have distance less than equal to x? Binary search for the answer. Wow, that's cool. How will I do binary search for the answer? Well, I can say that the minimum sum would be 0, maximum sum would be sum of nums. Right, and whenever I have mid equal to my sum, then I have to check if it is possible to find two pairs having the difference as mid. How will I do that? If I can, so binary search would be log of n, right? Log of n times f. Now this f has to be f would be the time that I would need to find if there is a pair having the distance between the elements as mid, or let's say k. How will I do that? Well, I have the entire array. My answer was 2. For example, my mid was 2. So I have to find a pair of elements inside of this array such that the distance between them is 2. Kth smallest distance. I have solved this one probably. K, what's the problem? Find k closest elements. Yeah, this one we just solved right now. But these are kth smallest element in a sorted matrix. These I've solved, I guess. How many pairs have distance less than equal to x? How many pairs have a distance less than equal to 2? Hmm. No clue. Sort the points, and then that would be n log n plus n squared log n. Yeah, I came up with that solution. It won't work. The another one is binary search plus prefix sum. Okay, let's take the hint and try to understand if we can use prefix sum. If I have prefix sum, let's binary search for the answer. It's definitely in the range 0 to W. Let possible guess be true if and only if there are k or more pairs with distance less than or equal to guess. Insane. That's insane. I'm just going to mark it to favorite and I'm never going to look at this problem again. Not at least in this month, because that was an insanely smart problem. I do not think I could have come up with the solution myself. Okay, enough about this. Cool. So I want to do this really cool thing with myself, which is that I want to set up Tailwind with React, and I wanna try and see how we actually use Tailwind to make responsive applications in React.js. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go to this and I'm going to create a new folder. Let's name it test responsive tailwind. Test responsive tailwind. So I want to test how do I use Tailwind with React.js, Tailwind CSS with React.js to create responsive applications. So that's my goal. That's what I want to understand. Install Tailwind CSS with Create React App. Create your project, install Tailwind, configure your template paths, add the Tailwind directive to your CSS, start your build process, start using Tailwind in your project. Sounds pretty easy. So yeah, that sounds like a easy task to do. So how about we quickly go here and do this. Create React. Oh, I do not want to name it my project. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to say npx create react app tailwind responsive. Although that's a very ugly name, but we have to work with the name for now. So I want to create a new React application and I want to try and see how I can use Tailwind to make a responsive website. Let's spend some time. Let's spend 30-40 minutes on this on the stream, and I will spend another 1 or 2 hours off stream in the evening, because yeah, it's related to the announcement, of course. Whatever I'm going to be announcing, it is related to that also. Plus I've always wanted to use Tailwind because I saw that it's pretty cool. People say that it will eliminate a lot of CSS for you, so I think it's cool. But yeah, I do not know much about it. Let's just try to understand how it works. So build your own next idea even faster. Okay, by the makers of Tailwind CSS. What am I using? Isn't it Tailwind CSS? Yes, it is. Oh, I can use Tailwind UI also. So you have a lot of components that are pre-built. Okay, there are 500 plus components that I can use. There are templates also. There are templates like these are some pretty cool templates. Okay, so these are templates that are responsive. It's kind of like Bootstrap, but modern Bootstrap, right? It's not old Bootstrap and stuff like that. Okay, this is how to use Tailwind UI. If you want to make use of some components, then think that's how you use components, right? Yes sir, that is how you actually make components. Cool. Forget about that. What kind of components do we have? We have nav bars. So this is a pretty cool nav bar. We have card with footer page buttons. Okay, that's pretty insane. I love it. We also have drop downs. We have left aligned striped in card. Okay, that is also pretty cool. We have simple sign in and registration. That's okay. We have stacked layout where we have a bunch of stuff. Okay, that's decent. We have 2 column cards with separate submit actions. So we have 2 cards. We can also do that with close button outside. Okay, I don't know what it is. This is page heading. Oh, this looks so beautiful, amazing. If I look at the code, okay, that's a lot of code, to be honest. but that's probably because the CSS is embedded in the application itself. That's why it feels like it's a lot of code. So these are all the classes that they have written. I have to understand how to use those classes myself, because I won't be just using the components directly. I will also be using classes from scratch. That's the real power of Tailwind. There is models, it's not cool. Avatars, not bad. Product list, I knew how it would work, but it's awesome. There is 3 columns. Oh, I really want to have this. Okay, this is going to help me a lot, because whatever I'm creating, I would be using 3 columns in my ID, in my project also. So I can directly use this component instead of having to write all the CSS to make it work for different UI sizes. Then there is product quick views. Okay, so there are a lot of components. Wow, that's pretty cool, because we have a lot of components. There is entire hero section that they have developed for us, where you can sort of create your own stuff. Okay, this is also pretty cool. Alright, so all of this is really cool. I like the components part. Tailwind UI's components are really nice, but once again, as I said, I want to focus more on the raw CSS itself. So let's go and open up Tailwind CSS in another, and let's jump to the docs. Let's see how will I use it. This is editor setup. Okay, the official Tailwind CSS IntelliSense extension for Visual Studio Code enhances the Tailwind development experience by providing users with advanced features such as autocomplete, syntax highlighting, and linting. I will be installing it for sure, because I think it's pretty cool. I think it's gonna help me. There is auto completing, hover previews, syntax highlighting. I need that. So I'll quickly install this in my VS Code. Let's do this right now. Let's open up VS Code. Where is this? Yeah, so this is called Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. Let's quickly go to the extensions part and write Tailwind CSS. Okay, I'm gonna install this. Hopefully this is going to make my life a lot more easier. Cool, so this is done. Let's go to the project and let's open this up in VS Code. This is a React project for now. We haven't really installed Tailwind in it, but we'll do that in a moment once the project has been completely set up. Then there is a section called using with preprocessors. You can use Sass. I do not want to use Sass. I feel like this is something that I do not need to know right now, but yeah. Optimizing for production. Yes, if you're using Tailwind CLI, you can unify your CSS by using this. I don't think I would need that right now. Let's talk about the core concepts of Tailwind CSS. Okay, traditionally whenever you need to style something on the web, you write CSS. Yes, I do. I have to write a lot of CSS, that's true. With Tailwind, you style elements by applying pre-existing classes directly in your HTML. Okay, so these are the pre-existing classes that I can write in the HTML. So it's kind of like Bootstrap. In the example above, we've used flexbox, padding, max width, margin to constraint card width, background color, border radius, box shadow, width, height to size the image, space between to handle spacing between logo and the text, font size. Okay, so we have used like a lot of stuff. Cool. Now this approach allows us to implement a completely custom component design without writing a single line of custom CSS. Now I know what you're thinking, that is an atrocity. What a horrible mess. And you're right, it's kind of ugly. In fact, it's just about impossible to think this is a good idea the first time you see it. You have to actually try it to understand it. But once you actually build something this way, you'll quickly notice that some really important benefits. You aren't wasting energy inventing class names. No more adding silly class names like sidebar in a wrapper just to be able to style something, and no more agonizing over the perfect abstract name. Your CSS stops growing. It's safe to make changes because I don't know why. Why not just use the inline styles? Because that's dumb and stupid, right? That's why you don't use inline styles. Anyway, so this is fine. Next up is handling hover, focus, and other states. If you want to do that, you can use these classes. That's fine. What else we have? We have responsive design. This is something that I want to focus on a lot more than the other things, because personally, the first reason or the biggest reason for me to use Tailwind CSS in my project is to make my websites responsive without having to write all the breakpoints in CSS, and basically that's a lot of code when you write it from scratch. I don't want to write all the media queries and stuff. So responsive designing, using responsive utility variants to build adaptive user interfaces. Every utility class in Tailwind can be applied conditionally at different breakpoints, which makes it a piece of cake to build complex responsive interfaces without ever leaving your HTML. There are 5 breakpoints by default, inspired by common device resolutions: small, medium, large, XL, and 2XL. That's fine. So, oh, that is so cool. Alright, so that's what it means. Alright, width of 16 by default, 32 on medium screens, and 48 on large screens. Super cool. Super cool. I love it. Absolutely loved it. Wow, that's so cool. That is so cool. I absolutely love this. Wow. And in order to create this, they just needed to write flags, some stuff like width. When it's medium, then the width is 48. When it's medium, then height is full. Otherwise the height is 48. So this looks pretty cool. Okay, what else do we have? I think my React application is almost done. Yeah, it's done. So let's quickly move to this and say npm start. I do not want to start the application right away. I want to install Tailwind in it. So let's install Tailwind. We have to install post CSS auto prefixer. I do not know what that is, but I assume that is one of the utilities that we have to install with tailwind.js. Finally, the last part is to modify the tailwind.config.js file. So let's go to this tailwind.config.js file. Add the part to all of your template files in this. So just going to copy paste whatever they have said, which means whatever is inside of the src, I want to go and find all the possible files having js, jsx, ts or tsx extensions. So now I can write Tailwind in this part of the application itself. So let's quickly remove this class name. Let's also have a paragraph. Hey there. I'm going to remove all the CSS. I'm going to assume we never had the CSS part itself. And now I'm going to start the application. Okay, let's continue our research. Here's how the example will work. By default, the outer div is display block, but by adding the flags, medium flags utility, it becomes display flags on medium screens and larger. So when we have medium or larger screens, it is a flex. It is using flexbox. When the parent is a flex container, we want to make sure the image never shrinks. So we have added md shrink 0 to prevent shrinking on medium screens and larger. Technically we could have just added it, since it would do nothing on smaller screen, but since it only matters on md, it's a good idea to make that clear in the class name. On smaller screens, the image is automatically full width by default. On medium screens and up, we have constrained the width to a fixed size and ensure the image is full height using this. So the outer div that we have, it says that max wmd. I do not know what that means. I only know about several things, which is rounded XL, that's about the border, shadow MD, I'm assuming that's for shadow. Overflow hidden. And on medium screens we have max width as 2XL, and max width is medium on medium screen on default. So that's like the parent container. Let's not focus on the parent container. Let's focus on this div, which is having an image and some piece of text on it. So for the outer div we have medium flex, which says that on medium screens it is going to display flex, and by default these are going to be in columns. Now we have two div inside of the first parent div. The first div is we have a first div which is an image, second div which is a collection of div A and P tags. Now in the second div we have given a class P8. I do not know what that means, so we'll have to look at that. But the first part says on medium screen I do not want the image to shrink. The image has by default full height, full width, sorry, a fixed height, full width, but on the medium screens and the larger screens, which is what we are seeing currently, what I want to do is basically I want to have full height but the width is slightly smaller. Okay, so I am able to understand all of this, which is cool. Okay, next up, by default Tailwind uses a mobile first breakpoint system, similar to what you might be used to in other frameworks like Bootstrap. What this means is that unprefixed utilities like uppercase take effect on all screen sizes, while prefixed utilities only take effect at the specified breakpoints and above. Right, so that's very common. Okay, use unprefixed utilities to target mobile like text center, but on some screens and bigger than that we will use SM. That I get it, that's fine. If you want to target a single breakpoint, if you like to apply utility at one breakpoint, the solution is to undo that utility at larger sizes. Okay, that's not very pretty, that's kind of ugly, but it is what it is. Okay, customizing breakpoints, I can do that also. That's pretty cool, though I do not really want to do that right now. Oh, this website is both dark and light. Okay, so dark mode, using Tailwind CSS to style your site in dark mode. Now that dark mode is a first class feature of many operating systems, it's becoming more and more common to design a dark version of your website to go along with the default design. To make this as easy as possible, Tailwind includes a dark variant that lets you style your site differently when dark mode is enabled. Okay, by default this uses the prefers color scheme CSS media feature, but you can also build sites that support toggling dark mode manually using the class strategy, right? Yes, I get it. So this is background white, class dark. Okay, and I can then work around with this, which is fine. Reusing styles. If you want to reuse some piece of style, then okay, so they're basically giving you options of making it faster for you to write the same piece of code at different lines in your editor, but they're not actually helping you reuse the styles. That's fine, they're just teaching you loops, multi-cursor editing, and other stuff which I'm just going to ignore. If you want to use your custom style, then yes. If you want to change your color palette, spacing style, typography, scale, breakpoints, then yes, you can go to the Tailwind config CSS, update stuff. You can use different colors, you can use different font family, maybe make another spacing, border radius and stuff. There's an option to do functions and directives, which I'm going to completely ignore for now. So let's move on to the configuration part. Well, by default Tailwind will look for an optional this when you can define any customizations. So right here I can have a theme where I can define the font family and colors. Okay, this is cool. I get it. Let's ignore this part once again because we do not want to use it right now. We will use it some other day. Let's focus on the content. What's the content part? The content section of your tailwind.config.js file is where you configure the path to all your HTML. I'm just going to ignore this entire thing and I'm going to move to the oh wow, yeah, this is pretty cool, right? So I'm going to move to the layout part. In the layout part we have a lot of stuff, like we have aspect ratio, container, columns, break after break, before break, inside, box sizing, display, float, clear, overflow, position, z index and stuff like that. They also have flex, box and grid. So you have flex, direction, wrap, grow, shrink. You have grid, you have justify content, align items, you have spacing if you want to give padding, margin, spacing between, you have sizing, width, min width, max width, height, you have typography, you can choose font family, font size, font style, font weight and stuff like that. You have background, borders, effects, filters, tables, transitions, transform, interactivity like touch, cursor, appearance, scroll. You have SVG, accessibility and some other plugins that I'm going to ignore for now. So that's pretty much all about the Tailwind for now. I think we have studied enough about Tailwind, and now I think it's time for us to jump into the sea or river and catch the biggest fish right now. Okay, so this is good. That's about it now. Yeah, so this is the new React project that we have created. We do not have any class right now, so it just says hey there right now. So I want to create a nav bar. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to quickly, or maybe inside of here only, I'm going to have a nav bar. I want to see if I can create a custom nav bar using Tailwind CSS that is responsive, and if I can do that, then I will build on top of that and end the stream hopefully. Let's go ahead and quickly create a nav bar component right here. And I'm going to show the navbar component in my main component. So right now we see that it says I'm a navbar. Now let's go ahead and see how to give some colors to the background. So let's search for background color. Yep, if you want to give the background color, you can say this. So I'm going to go here, I'm gonna say class name background color indigo. Yep, but it didn't really change the color, background color. It didn't really change the background color. I'm just quickly going to say if I can check the height, min height, I'm going to say min height to be, let's say min height to be 48, min height to be 48. Min is actually min. Unfortunately I don't see the color applied. I don't see that the color has been applied at all. Okay, when I hover over these styles, whatever styles I have, I could see that there are some piece of CSS. There is some piece of CSS that over the entire class name. That's cool. but I want to understand why the color has not been applied to the nav bar. Let's use a edge tag. I have a paragraph in my navbar, but the class name, I have everything, but it doesn't really work. Well, why? The question is why. So the first thing that I want to verify, my stream was having some issues, but it's back up again. Anyways, so the first thing that I want to verify is if Tailwind is actually working in my project or not. So let's say text size, font size, let's give it text 2XL. This would help us understand if actually the Tailwind CSS is working or not. If I've set text 2XL, yep, it's not working, because otherwise it should have, when I set text 2XL, the text should have changed the size. So Tailwind is not working in my project right now. Why is that so? Okay, maybe I have done something wrong in the installation itself. I have installed this, I have no, so I've only installed this. I have configured the template path, and add the Tailwind directives to your CSS. Start the Tailwind CLI build process. Start using Tailwind in your HTML. I want to say how to use React. Create React app. Configure your template. Add the Tailwind. Oh, I didn't follow the further steps, which is very stupid of me. I have to go to index.css, and right here I have to add these Tailwind directives inside of my index.css. Okay, now it works. Cool. So with that being said, let's now jump to the search section, and let's search how to give padding. How to give the padding? Well, if you want to give padding to single side, you can just do pt, per, pb or pl, but if you want to give horizontal padding, you can give px. I want to give the vertical padding, so I'm gonna say py. Right here I'm going to write py of 8. So that's done. Next up, what I want to do is I want to have a paragraph, and I also want to have a let's just say that I want to have a sign in button, for example. So I'm going to say that this is my sign in button. Okay, and this button is actually I want to have multiple buttons right here, not just one signing button. So I'm going to say there are multiple buttons, A tags. The first A tag is profile, second or maybe profile, the second one is logout, the third one is home. Okay, so right now it looks like that, but I want to say that whenever we are on the bigger screen, I want to make sure that it is displaying as flex. So I'm going to say flex. I have to write flex. If I want to display flex, then I can just write flex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say here on medium screens display flex. Right, so on medium screens it's displaying flex, but when I shrink it, it is displaying block. So already you can see it's with just some piece of lines, I'm able to have some sort of responsiveness in my application, which is pretty cool. Now the next thing that I want to do is when it's displaying flex, I also want to say space between. So this is going to Okay, one option is to this: when you want to give the horizontal space, you want to control the horizontal space, you want to control the vertical space, or if your elements are in reverse order, you can do that too. You can use negative space values. You have a lot of stuff that you can do with it. But what I'm going to do is basically so this was my home profile CSS. This was the second div. Now the thing is that I also want to have the horizontal padding to be 8, right? And the next thing that I want is, on medium screens, I want the space to be, so yeah, I want a space to be in X direction, the space is to be 8, let's say. But 8 isn't doing enough for me, because I want to shift this to the left side. So I have to can I say space? I cannot. So I have to understand justify content, justify between. There's a class called justify between. On medium screens I want to apply this class, and there you go, it is working perfectly fine. Next thing that I want to do is I want to go to this class name, and I want to say medium screens, it's going to be flex, horizontal padding is 8, and space X is also 8. Right, so this is pretty cool. Let's say log out. Cool, so this is working fine, except if I go and shrink it, then I see that it is still displaying as a flex, but I don't want to display it as a flex when it's shrinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that on smaller screens display block. Now by doing that, did I change the correct thing? I did. Let's just say that on smaller screens, or maybe here, maybe here I can say flex is fine. This is medium, right? On smaller screens I want to have the space Y as 8, but that would be applied to larger screens also, right? So I have to say on medium screens I want space Y 0. Does this work? No, it doesn't. On smaller screen the space Y X, it can always be flex space. On smaller screens, space Y to be 8. 8 is maybe too much. Let's say 2. Even 2 is too much. I don't get it. What's the problem with it now? Flex column. Flex. There is a grid also, but I do not like grid. I instead like to use flex. Flex direction. Flex direction could be column or row, of course. Let's use row. The only problem is when I'm adding the vertical space on the smaller screen, it is actually creating some problems. I do not want to have this here. I can just do this. On medium screens we are going for flags, and on medium screens we are going for px8. And on medium screens we are going to go for px8. Cool. Otherwise we can just say that the px is nothing but px is 4, and right here also I'm going to say that the px is 4. So I feel like a smarter way to do all of this would have been to first write CS and to first make sure that you're writing everything correctly when you're writing the CSS. I like this, there's no problem, this looks pretty cool, but I want to add some space in general between the first two things. So how about I say space y to be 8, but on medium screen space y to be 0, space y to be 8. I think space y is not working properly in my case, at least. Thing do. When you say space y, control the vertical space between elements using space y. I just decide flex row space y 4, for example. It doesn't really matter. But when I'm shrinking this thing, I'm not actually getting the correct spacing everywhere. And I hope that's not because of the div. Yeah, I really hope that it's not because of this thing. Nope, it's not. I'm glad it's not because of that. So well, then why do we have this issue, by the way? Maybe yeah, I still have that issue. It doesn't really matter. Can I do this? Tarun bestie. Wow, what the hell is happening, by the way? Hi, क्या हुआ? Hello, hi guys. क्या हुआ बताओ? क्या हुआ? हेलो, यस बोलो. PPO Adobe now stream is bestie, टाइटल चेंज कर दो. वी गॉट सम इन्फो, PPO नॉट रिक्वायर्ड चेक. एक्सक्यूज़ मी, तुम लोग क्या कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हो? वेट. आई डू नॉट हैव एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. प्लीज़ ऐसे झूठ मत बोलना. डोंट लाई टू मी, आई एम गोइंग टू किल यू. आई डू नॉट हैव एनी मेल. आई डू नॉट हैव एनी मेल ऑफ द PPO. झूठ बोल रहे हो. तुम्हें PPO मिला, ये हुआ, बट कहाँ? आई डो नॉट हैव एनी मेल ऑफ द PPO. कुछ भी मिल गया तुमको PPO मिल गया ना. स्ट्रीम इज बेस्टी, टाइटल चेंज कर दो अभी. कहाँ? किसने कहा? हु सेड दिस? गिव मी द प्रूफ. ओके, गिव मी द प्रूफ. बाय द वे, सौम्या टोल्ड. अच्छा, ठीक है. तो फिर मैं अभी एक्टिंग बंद कर सकता हूँ, है ना? आई हैव अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी जो कि मैं तुम लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाहता हूँ. आई हैव अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी. ओके, सुनो, मेरे पास बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी है तुम सबके लिए. और ये बहुत ही जो इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी है, ठीक है, ये जो बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी है, ये मैं तुम्हारे साथ शेयर करूँगा थ्रू अ वीडियो, नॉट राइट नाउ. Here's the reality. The reality is के मतलब probably पीपीओ नहीं मिला। अब ऐसा अभी तक तो मेरे को यही लगता है कि पीपीओ नहीं मिला है, पता नहीं तुम लोगों को क्यों लग रहा है। मेरे को तो कोई मेल भी नहीं आया है ऑनेस्टली। हाँ, आई डो नॉट हैव एनी मेल। कुछ भी बोल रहे हो तुम लोग। देखो तुम मेरे को और कंफ्यूज कर रहे हो, क्योंकि मेरे पास जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है उसके हिसाब से लिसन, सुनो 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 सुनो, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी है। मैं स्टोरी लेकिन अभी नहीं बता सकता। देखो बता देता हूँ, ठीक है, चलो मैं स्टोरी बता देता हूँ। क्या मैं स्टोरी बताऊँ? ओके, मैं एक पोल कर रहा हूँ, मैं एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग और लेंदी स्टोरी बताऊँगा। डू यू वॉन्ट टू हियर अ स्टोरी? अगर मेरे को इसमें 5 वोट्स मिलते हैं, अगर मेरे को 5 वेट्स मिलते हैं, ठीक है, अगर मेरे को इसमें 5 पॉजिटिव वोट्स मिलते हैं तो मैं स्टोरी बताऊंगा। बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी है, बट हियर्स द प्रॉब्लम। अभी मुझे ये नहीं लगता, जब तक मतलब एक वेरिफिकेशन ना हो मेरे पास कि आइदर मेरे को पीपीओ मिला है या नहीं, तब तक मैं वो स्टोरी बता नहीं सकता किसी को। लीगली मेरे को अलाउड नहीं है, मेरे को लीगली अलाउड नहीं है। ओके, एक नो मिला है मेरे को, 4 यस वोट्स मिले हैं, ठीक है, एक नो वोट है, तो आई डोंट थिंक आई कैन शेयर द स्टोरी। एनीवेज दैट, ओके देखो 2 नो वोट्स हो गए। ओके, अभी कुछ नहीं। द थिंग इज़ कि मैं लीगली वो स्टोरी बता नहीं सकता जब तक, मैं लीगली वो स्टोरी बता नहीं सकता हूँ किसी को भी जब तक मेरे को कोई रिज़ल्ट ना मिले कि पीपीओ है या नहीं है। मुझे ये नहीं पता कि यस और नो है, पर मेरे को जब तक यस और नो में से कुछ नहीं आता, मैं लीगली वो स्टोरी बाहर नहीं निकाल सकता अभी। नहीं, मैंने साइन किया है अभी, रिसेंटली किया है वो साइन। मैं भी लीगली स्टोरी शेयर नहीं कर सकता, आई एम सॉरी, बट यस पता नहीं, आई कैन नॉट। सुनो, एनडीए की बात नहीं है, मेरे को कॉल, दे कॉल्ड मी, ठीक है, मेरे को कॉल करके पूरी डिस्कशन की गई है उस बारे में। मेरे को ऑलमोस्ट अडोबी वाले मेरे को कांटेक्ट कर रहे हैं पिछले 1 महीने से, ठीक है, तो ढेर सारी वो हो रही है। तो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जब तक मेरे पास पीपीओ का यस और नो नहीं आता, मैं वो स्टोरी बाहर नहीं कर सकता, उन्होंने मना करा है। तो पहले मेरे को स्टोरी पीपीओ है, श्योर, सौम्या बोल रही है। अरे जब तक मैं खुद वो देख नहीं सकता ना, तब तक मैं स्टोरी बाहर नहीं कर सकता। उन लोगों ने रूल्स का बोला था। अरे मैं रूल्स ऐसे फॉलो नहीं कर रहा। सुनो, मैं बता दूं स्टोरी, मेरे को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। मैं ठीक है, चलो मैं तुमको एक छोटा मैसेज दिखा सकता हूँ, ठीक है, मैं तुमको स्ट्रीम पे मैसेज दिखा सकता हूँ, उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकता। मैं झूठ नहीं बोल रहा, मैं मैसेज दिखा सकता हूँ, ठीक है। मेरे को कॉल आए थे और मेरे पास मैसेजेस हैं, मैं दिखा नहीं सकता, मतलब मैं प्रॉपर जब तक बता नहीं सकता जब तक वो यस और नो डिसाइड ना कर लें। सौम्या, हाउ डू यू नो कि पीपीओ मिला है? मेरे को तो अभी थोड़ा सा प्लेसमेंट को नहीं बता सकते, हमें बता सकते हो। रहने दो तरुण बेस्टी, सौम्या को तुमसे पहले पता है। अरे मेरे को बताओ, मैं किसी को नहीं बताऊंगी। अरे ये अरे ये स्टोरी के थ्रू बताऊंगा ना भाई, स्ट्रीम पे नहीं बताते। इसको एक वीडियो अपलोड करूंगा ना सेपरेट, इसके लिए मैं इतने दिन से हाइप बिल्डअप कर रहा हूँ, 55 दिन से नॉन स्टॉप स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ, और तुम चाहते हो कि मैं अपनी पूरी मेहनत, ये जो इतनी बड़ी स्टोरी है मेरे पास, वो मैं ऐसे ही लीक कर दूँ स्ट्रीम पे या समोसा पे? नो, मैंने 55 दिन तक स्ट्रीम करके ये हाइप इकट्ठी करी है, ठीक है, इतनी हाइप इकट्ठी करी है अपने लिए हाइप, ठीक है, तुम्हारे लिए नहीं, अपने लिए। रोज़ कोड कर रहा हूँ स्ट्रीम पे आके, कुछ तो रीज़न होगा इसके पीछे। तो ऐसे तो स्टोरी नहीं जाएगी जब तक प्रॉपर मेल नहीं आएगा। प्रॉपर मेल नहीं आएगा तब तक तो स्टोरी कहीं नहीं जाएगी। प्लस आई ऑल्सो CDC को मेल आता है, पहले मुझे पता है CDC को मेल आता है। सौम्या ब्रो 55 दिन से एज कर रहे हो, एज नहीं कर रहे हैं, वेट कर रहे थे कि कोई एक सबूत मिले, समझ रहे हो। मेरे टैंकर्स आर फुल, पार्टी वैन स्नैक्स पे बताओ ये पार्टी वैन यस श्योर, पार्टी तुम लोग घर से वापस आ जाओ तब दे सकता हूँ, वरना चाहो तो कल ही दे दूँगा, डोंट वरी, आई कैन डू दैट एनी डे। कल भी दे सकता हूँ, नॉट अ बिग डील, कल भी दे सकता हूँ। देखो वो स्टोरी बहुत ही क्रेजी है, मेरे को मन कर रहा है कि थोड़ा सा बता दूँ, थोड़ा सा, वो बहुत क्रेजी स्टोरी है। चलो लाइट लो, एनीवेज चलो छोड़ो, अब तुम लोगों ने मेरे को थोड़ा सा खुश कर दिया, तो खुशी के चक्कर में मैं अब कोड नहीं कर सकता, अब मुझे ये स्ट्रीम बंद करनी पड़ेगी। बट थैंक यू सो मच फॉर रेडिंग, जिसने भी रेड करा मेरी स्ट्रीम को, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर रेडिंग, आई लव्ड इट। मैं वीडियो डेफिनेटली बनाऊंगा एक, और उस वीडियो में तुम सब लोग होगे, ठीक है। आई विल इंक्लूड ऑल ऑफ यू इन दैट वीडियो, ठीक है। तुम सारे लोगों को उस वीडियो में इंक्लूड करूँगा। थैंक यू फॉर अरे सप्ताह पागल हो गई है भाई, रुक जाओ यार। अरे बस करो, चलो थैंक यू फॉर रीडिंग। अब मैं स्ट्रीम बंद कर रहा हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग टू द स्ट्रीम। और जब तक फाइनल मेरे को पता नहीं चलता तब देखते हैं। ओके, बेस्ट ट्यूटोरियल अबाउट पीवीओ, ये मज़ा आया था। यस थैंक यू सो मच, इससे बढ़िया नहीं हो सकता। ट्रू ट्रू ट्रू, बहुत इनसेन। अच्छा, मैंने टाइटल में लिखा था 2 अनाउंसमेंट सून, तुम लोगों ने आके मेरे को अनाउंसमेंट दे दिया। डू यू गाइज अंडरस्टैंड? ये पूरा उल्टा हो रहा है। टाइटल में लिखा हुआ था कि मैं अनाउंसमेंट करूँगा, ना कि तुम लोग अनाउंस करोगे आके मेरे को कुछ। ये क्या चल रहा है? ये तो स्ट्रीम प्रिडिक्शन हो गया भाई। वो जो 2 अनाउंसमेंट लिखी हुई थी उनमें से एक अनाउंसमेंट यही थी। मतलब ये यस और नो नहीं पता मेरे को, बट रिजल्ट था पीपीओ का। हो सकता है नो हो सकता है यस हो एक्चुअली। एनीवेज स्टॉप, अब जाओ भी। सौम्या तुम चले जाओ, तुमको अगर दिक्कत हो रही है तो जाओ जाओ जाओ। सौम्या मेरे चैनल पे आई है, लाइक फर्स्ट टाइम आई है प्रोबेबली। नाइस। समोसा टाइम, समोसा भाई, सप्ताह को भूख लग रही है, समोसा खाने जाना है उसको। सप्ताह को जोर से भूख लगी हुई है। क्या मस्त, मैं बैठ के टेलविंड CSS कर रहा था और अचानक से मेरी स्ट्रीम पे रेड कर दी लोगों ने। हे हे।